would say it looks like we have a functioning longbow. So now it's time to fashion some arrows. I'm looking for something pretty straightforward. An arrow shaft. Those are really good one I see right here. Now this is salmonberry, but this shaft is already good and dark, and it feels pretty stiff. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one.
Salmonberries grow in the Pacific Northwest on bushes up to 6 feet tall. Their long, straight branches make for good arrows.
You're gonna have to notch this somehow. I wanna make sure that this pith will come out of here pretty easy and leave me with a groove.
The pith is the soft, fleshy interior of a plant stem.
So basically all I'm gonna do is cut the pith out of it, and now I have a ready-made notch right there to put an arrowhead into. That's a very good piece right there. And if I could collect a half a dozen of those, I'd be real happy. It's time to pre-dry the outside of it, knowing that the inside pith is going to be a little bit wet still. Start to harden the ends so that you can put a knock point for the string on one end and a notch in the other end. To make it fly fairly straight, I've got to put some fletchings on this arrow. All I can do right now is improvise with what I have, and what I have is duct tape. And basically, I've just used this duct tape to effectively put a set of helical feathers on here, which will make the arrow spin when it flies.
Helical fletching makes the arrow rotate in flight, averaging out any imperfections in the shaft so that it flies straight.
I want to shoot this arrow first out of this bow to make sure it's going to fly halfway straight. So if I do find something,
It's the proper tools or the ability to improvise. Dave's got salmonberry arrow shafts, only practical for small game. A glass arrowhead could offer a rare shot at a big calorie kill and long-term survival.
okay, so the first step obviously is to get the bottom off your bottle. The bottom is going to be the flattest part of the glass. You're going to have the least amount of curvature in it, so that's what you start working with.
But even the slightest curve on an arrowhead will derail an arrow mid-flight. The glass has to be cut perfectly flat and straight.
You get that into a round shape, and you get flakes all the way around on both sides. When you break the flake off from the top, it creates a cone on the bottom.
Conical fractures happen when glass is chipped from the top down. Flipping the glass over to chip both sides turns fractures into a jagged edge.
And you just keep doing that all the way around the piece to get it into a triangle shape. And it does take a little bit of energy, but the reward is you have something that will kill a bigger animal. This antler is very hard, and it's fairly pointed, and that's what it takes to be able to knock a flake off of this glass. So you can see pop, pop, flake, flake. All I'm doing now is just knocking tiny, tiny sharpening flakes off of it. And you can see they're barely little flakes there, but that's what makes your edge real sharp. Then you can mount it on your arrow. You can see how sharp that glass is. Just cut that duct tape like it wasn't even there.
Duct tape will superficially attach glass to an arrow, but it's bulky and won't hold for long. A sturdy bind takes glue. This is a big spruce tree, and you can see that white sap dripping down the tree in a couple different places. That's pine resin. Pine resin is a multi-purpose remedy. Native Americans use it for everything from treating arthritis and burns to gluing arrows.
This is a ball of sap that's dripped down off this tree. And this is the kind of stuff that we want right here. I'm just spreading some pine pitch on here, and then I'm going to take it back to the fire and harden it out.
With two partners burn a variety of fowl. The trick is spotting them among dense brush and trees.
I think I hear a turkey. It's very, very faint. Turkey make a very unique sound, especially the hens. It's kind of like, just thought I made that out a minute ago.
Longbows work best at close range.
Man, that bird is close.
But a turkey will flee if it senses a human nearby.
Turkey hunting is a tricky business. They can see movement from a long ways off. They can see colors. Probably the best thing for me to do is hold up behind a log, listen, maybe call a couple times. If you can call them into you and not have to move toward them, your chances improve by about 100%. To pull a kill off like this from behind a downed log with only semi-camouflage is tricky. He's coming closer, I hear it. I heard her calling me back. She's coming closer.
If the arrow doesn't kill the turkey instantly, cutting its head off will.
The next step is to get this bird cleaned off, gut it out, back to the fire.
A hunter has to act fast on a fresh kill, carefully removing the intestines so bacteria doesn't spill into the meat. E. coli can lead to vomiting, diarrhea, even death.
Right there is where the arrow went in. Right there in that hole, right between the muscles. Went straight into the cavity. That's all breast meat right there. That's huge. You get that cleaned out of there, you just pull that skin right out, just like that. Now, wash him off. That dude's ready to chow down on.